This is our home. We shelter here from storms. We find trust, togetherness, and sharing. We create here a safe environment full of opportunities for all of us, each of us, to achieve his or her best. We must make this a better home and build for ourselves a brighter future together. At the last party conference, 2008, the whole atmosphere was very gloomy. If you cast your mind back, Lehman Brothers had recently collapsed. The global financial system was going into a deep crisis. Singapore faced severe turbulence, and we were wondering, as many Singaporeans, what's going to happen to us. So we prepared for the storm. We lined up a decisive early budget, the resilience package. We launched the Jobs Credit Program and SPUR, and we went into battle. The first quarter last year was indeed scary. Economy fell 10%, later on revised to 9%, but quite scary all the same. Our trade went down by 1/3. Almost 11,000 workers got retrenched in that quarter. Never seen before. And Singaporeans worried about their jobs, their futures, their families. Fortunately, our economy rebounded quickly. The unemployment rate stayed lower than we had feared. It went up a bit, but not too high, and it's come back down again. And this year, we are enjoying 15% growth. What made this happen? Partly good fortune, because the global situation turned around faster than expected. The measures taken by the Americans and the Europeans and the IMF and World Bank worked. But it was more than luck or favorable circumstances. It was because of the long history before we reached the crisis, which brought us to the crisis in a strong position. Because we had built up over many years, developing the economy, strengthening our society, avoiding budget deficits, unlike other countries which borrowed to spend, putting away something every year for a rainy day, and getting our people closer together, to work hard, and always worry, where is the next black cloud going to come from? So, that was the first reason, because we had had many years to prepare for this. It's like elections. You prepare long before the campaign comes. But when the campaign came, when the battle came, in the crisis we responded as one united people. The tripartite partners tackled the challenges together. The unions worked with employers. The government took measures which helped both the companies and the workers. And the government and the people stood shoulder to shoulder to see through this storm. We also enjoyed good leadership at all levels. Unionists who worked with employers to save jobs, to reassure and encourage workers. Grassroots leaders who took care of the ground and identified families in difficulty and lined up help and support for them and for their children. And of course, the PAP government, not alone, but also playing an important role, setting the right policies, mobilizing the nation to respond to the crisis. That's when the government earns its pay. Today, the outlook is much better. Asia growing strongly again, but of course there are still problems and uncertainties in the world. Firstly, the imbalances in the world economy, the savings imbalances, the borrowings not cleared, the problems between America and China over the exchange rate, renminbi to the US dollar, causing tensions and friction and unresolved difficulties which can come back and cause harm to the world economy at some point. In the developed countries, particularly in the US, growth is weak, unemployment is high, and it doesn't look like it's going to recover soon. And as long as the US is unhappy, I think the rest of us have to be careful when we are smiling. Because their unhappiness, if they can cause them problems, and that can cause us problems. In Europe, too, there are problems. Ireland is the latest. They said they didn't need any help. We are okay, we are strong, we are confident. But finally, they had to ask for help. Now Portugal says, we are okay, we are strong, we are confident. And Spain, which is much bigger, says, I'm okay too. So I hope they are okay. But we worry and we watch carefully because it probably won't become a disaster, but it could get worse. So we have to be careful. There are security issues too in our region, like the artillery shelling in Korea, which has raised tensions in Northeast Asia. And we have to watch whether that escalates or whether that can be stabilized. It is not a problem which is going to go away. Therefore, we need to continue to be vigilant to see how they develop, whether they somehow affect us, how we must respond. And we must not forget the lessons from the last crisis or think that now the crisis is over, we can just have a party.